tell him the meeting starts at 5.
Do you want to start at 5?
No, we have to tell Azu that.
No, we could meet at 5, but what I'm saying, do you want to meet at 5?
Not really. Call the meeting to order at 5:32. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
Yes. Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Any bills?
Because I did not email it out to everybody, and I've got copies if they want.
Okay.
If you want to
Did she
just-
comment on it?
She hasn't commented back yet, no, and I did email that to her,
Okay.
just so you'll know. If they want, everybody wants copies, I have them.
Was it just a month? Was it just a month? It usually goes about 6 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, now you can sign that second bill.
Sorry, I ripped it out. Oh, hey. Oh, we're out of time.
He is.
Correspondence. What's up with
That's the FedEx.
FedEx?
That's just the correspondence that they sent in, that they are going to planning on Thursday to change their site plan, I think. So that was just the information that they gave us. We'll have to wait to hear it.
What the...
They came in front of
The
us.
modification was approved, they didn't put a sign-off block on the plan, so we couldn't sign off on it.
Okay.
Coming back in.
And what did they do? Just remove that one section that was in our jurisdiction?
Yeah.
The
They
one
just,
corner of asphalt, I think it was.
yeah, and they just didn't have a sign-off block on the plan to approve the plan. So they put a request that we sign off on the sign-off block, and we got there, there was no sign-off block. So...
And they had making a modification on the plan.
Actually, we're not going to do it Thursday because we're not having a meeting Thursday.
Okay. Because they were supposed to come before us.
Okay, well, we're not having a meeting
Okay, all right.
Thursday, so no action's going to be taken until at least the 21st.
Okay, yep.
Which is after our meeting
Which is
again,
after our
right?
meeting again, yes.
They were removing asphalt in the, what was it, 75 to 100 foot strip, somewhere in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like
It
on
was,
the
it was way
backside.
on the outside.
Yeah, it was on the backside. They were actually, it looked like from that plan that was emailed out, they were removing one little corner of asphalt, which literally took them outside of our jurisdiction.
Just pass this down, it's that
Yeah.
little strip right there.
I looked at it
And that-
online.
And they were gonna plant grass there, I think.
They
Yeah,
changed.
that's what it said they're gonna do.
But
They were going to do a bunch of stuff and put fencing and security, and then they started getting the numbers on it, and the numbers didn't work.
Well, they can't do fencing, security fencing in the park
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
part
I
of
looked at it
the
online.
Yeah, I saw that too. They would cut it out.
covenants or whatever in the park.
Everything else.
So they had to
stayed the
drop
same.
that.
Did you see that?
But
That was the money issue.
this, can you see the little spot that's got the red around it? That's jurisdictional. I told them that I'd sign the building permit, but that it, for the interior work, but that they would have to file an IDA for the outside stuff. And so their answer to the IDA was, well, we'll just leave it there and not make any changes in the jurisdiction. Well, now it's holding them up more than, take them another month. Planning board's gonna hold a public hearing on Thursday to consider amendments to the Raynham Planning Board rules and regulations governing fees and fee schedules. Board of Appeals is going to have a meeting on November 20th, which is our meeting night, right?
Yep, so we have to be out of here by 7.
For Walmart?
Signs.
Signs.
The signage was in the paper, I read that in the paper.
That's the FedEx.
So this is still a FedEx.
Yeah,
Tunison Dyers,
Okay,
I
hold
think
on.
there's something new.
He has to leave.
Hey, and punch out while you're standing in the hall.
It's paid by the visit.
Yeah, we probably get another 4-hour minimum now, right?
This is information that was sent by Tunison, Garrett Tunison, on 512 South Street,
This is,
in response to your site visit
yeah,
with Marty.
and, well, it's been forwarded to Marty for
Right.
review
We got an email.
Marty and Taylor.
To
Did you
make
get the
sure-
email? I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Okay.
to make sure that everything is up to snuff. They have not started the project yet. They haven't requested anything. So,
Oh, yeah, we get this.
Okay.
A while back, right?
I wasn't sure if you had gotten it or not, so I wanted to
A
make sure.
couple weeks ago.
It's in the mail
I got
tonight.
an email.
So they're way behind schedule.
yeah, well, you know how that goes. And we have a thing from Wildlands Trust if anybody cares to read through this. All right. Can someone fetch Azu?
Oh, he can't see it.
Go right to the sewer. No, do you want it?
Yeah, we'll move into informal. Minor modification for DEP file number 269-0862, Raynham Sewer Department.
Yep.
For the record, Chris Gallagher, Raynham Sewer Superintendent. What the minor modification is we want to move a pump station about 400 feet west from where it was originally located on Dean Street. This was where it was located on the originally approved plan. The original design plan had some topographical errors, and so this was actually, the low point was here, where that was, so they had a few mistakes on it, so on the original plan. So I picked up on it when we were out in the field, and we ended up redesigning it 400 feet away. What it did was it made the wet well a lot shallower, made the pump smaller, made the force main smaller, saved about 400 or 500 feet of pipe. And so when I picked up on it, I had Ty and Bond redraw it, basically the way I redesigned it. And
So they ought to be paying the town. They ought to, the engineer ought to be paying the town for doing their work.
yeah, no, they charged us to do it wrong, and they charged us to do it wrong, and then they charged us to do it right. So it's another story. But they actually used the Raynham GIS for their topography. As a professional engineer, you understand that, but that's what they use. So the center line elevation was off about 4 or 5 feet. So we picked up on it. We went out in the field and realized it should have been located differently. We did. It saved, a lot of money to redo it this way, 100,000 plus, and so we're just proposing a minor modification. It was on the Pacheco property. Now it's going to be on a piece that's actually owned by the Hellities. We're in the middle of doing a taking now. We already went to town meeting to, voted on the taking. The town voted to take the land. We're in the process of doing the taking now. We've done the appraisal, and we have to probably go to the selectmen within the next several weeks and do the order of taking if this is approved. And we will be out here in the spring. With that construction season's coming to an end now, and we're going to be out in the spring on finishing up contract 2 on the north side of 44 and contract 3, this is part on the south side of 44. And this is actually the original pump station was a building, 16 by, I think, 32. And now we're doing like a can type station where the generator's outside. And so you're not going to have the bigger building on it. It's just going to be a package station, which is a lot smaller. And so there's less impervious than what there was before. But all in all, it's a better design to do it this way. It's how it should have been designed from the beginning.
How's it, do you have any issues and concerns?
Now, Gil had brought it to my attention over last week, or the week before, actually. Yeah. And I don't see any issues with it. So it'd be a minor modification, accepting the plan into record, and then reflecting the changes in an as-built plan. Yeah.
Could I also get a letter reflecting that information? So I have something for the record.
Charge a fee for those letters.
Be cheaper than where it was.
You haven't seen the fees.
All right, so we have a motion.
Motion? I'll make a motion that we accept the sewer department's minor modification for DEP file number SC 269-0862, and they will reflect the final designs on the as-built.
Add that plan into record.
Seconded.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Just for the record, this will make George Pacheco very happy because he was very upset at what's going on with his land.
It's a better location anyways.
Well, he's the one that pointed that out.
Issuance of an order of conditions for DEP file number 269-0890, 2T's Realty Trust, 152 Forge River Parkway, map 14, parcel 2420. Do we need to do anything with this, or are we all set? Just sign it and go.
Vote to issue.
Make a motion that we issue order conditions for DEP file 269-0890, 2T's Realty Trust, 152 Forge River Parkway, map 14, parcel 2420. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Continued enforcement order, RK Associates.
I've got all the stuff. I don't know.
You have everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can discuss it.
Mr. Baker.
Chairman, my name is David Baker. I work at RK Centers, and I wanted to come tonight just to give the committee an update on where we stand. We have been working with Mass Highway and our consultants to get the notice of intent filed, and there were some issues with getting the district highway director's signature on that, and we also decided that one method of getting Mass Highway to react was to file a state highway access permit, which has a timeline associated with that. So we submitted that with the whole NOI package, and just recently heard back from them that they would like 2 separate permit applications, one for the tree restoration work and one for the drainage connection. So we backed out the first application and now submitted 2. As of today, I've heard that they have accepted as complete both of our permit applications. and that they have signed, and I believe the NOI is complete with this committee. I just took the liberty of producing, it's a little 3-page timeline for the commissioners. This is something I did going through my notes, trying to get my handle on where we are. RK/DRB is me. It's either an email or a phone call that I made, and it gives you the dates from July, August, September into October of the calls and emails that I've made to different people that I know at Mass Highway, specifically when we first got the enforcement order. I went down and did a site inspection on August 2nd. We sent a letter out that day. I made calls to the maintenance director and to this gentleman, George Batchelor, who was the one of 2 landscape supervisors at the Boston level. George and I had worked together on another project in Kingston, and he thanked me for the letter and said yes, he would be working. We also sent a letter to the district director, Mary Jo Perry, on August 2nd. I still have never received a response from any of those communications. So I don't want to trouble you guys all night long and go through this, but I think what I'm trying to demonstrate is that we've tried to make contact, to get signatures on applications and or to get some feedback on a draft planting plan. I sent a draft planting plan to George Batchelor on September 17th, and that was based on comments we had received that they wanted to have line of sight issues or low issues with the Route 24 southbound ramp. Said to George, stamped a draft, please get back to me, let me know if you have any comments. That I think you guys probably have seen, it's in the NOI at this point. The planting list, when those plantings are mature, some of those trees are 25 feet tall and bushes and things. But it was really done based on an initial comment from Mass Highway. They'd be careful on the slopes on the southbound road, on the southbound approach. We've cut those in the past. We don't want you putting in giant trees. Again, it was stamped draft. Give us some feedback. We're happy to revise it. As of recently, we then got some comments back that no, people wanted more species like red maples. So I have a revised plan that shows red maples, and at mature height, those would be up in the 35-foot tall range. Personally, I just looking for the landscape architects and the experts to agree on a final plan. As recently as today's Wednesday. On Friday, I called George again, got through to him and said, George, I got to have an on-site meeting. We have to move this forward. He understood my concerns and said he would get back to me. He has not. I sent an email out today. I copied Gail because she's the only one I have an email address to on the commission. Basically, the guy in Boston, all the guys and permit people in the district office, and said, let's have an on-site meeting. I even proposed, how about this Friday at 3 o'clock? I have not heard back whether that's acceptable. I obviously will invite the commission to attend. I'm just trying to, whether it's in an office or on site, to just get everybody together, give us our comments on the plans. So I think we're on the precipice of moving forward. It's taken a long time to get there. I just want everybody to know that we're trying. Is also tonight on my way down here for this meeting, I emailed Gail some photos. I'm not sure who did it, but it's some truck backed into the chain link fence that runs behind Dollar Tree. Probably took out 5 or 6 sections of top rail and bent a few posts. I'd like my guys to, with a truck from our side, to try and straighten those posts, resecure the top rail, and just resecure the fabric. I'm hoping that there's no digging involved. One of the posts is pretty bent. It may snap off, but that is kind of routine maintenance. We have no idea who did it, and I just discovered it tonight. So I sent an email to Gail based on the sensitivity of the NOI. I didn't want to do anything unless you guys were okay with that.
I think at this point, whether we have to make a motion, whatever we have to do, but I think they should be allowed to replace posts if necessary.
To replace what?
replace the posts for the fence if necessary to to repair the fence in that area, because the fence gives us more protection.
Are they cemented in the posts? Yeah.
We'll heat them up, we'll try and bend
I
them,
think the
but...
bend back might be as good as the bend. It happened.
Right. So,
Lucky you didn't get the fire hydrant.
Yeah, and
I don't know how he even got in.
That's what we said,
How
too.
he got in there, but we try and chase the trucks out of there from overnight parking, but it looks like somebody pulled in the back and then was backing out and, whacked it till they felt the fence, and then they started going forward again. That's kind of routine in our world. The other thing I would bring up is, again, based on tonight, when the commission had asked us to get the cut brush out of the parking lot, we still have a few sections of cut branches that are in those drainage ditches, and I think it would be a good idea to remove those by hand out of the drainage channels that Mass DOT recreated, but I don't want to do that. I want to do it before the winter, but I don't want to do that unless you guys agree. I would personally be there and supervise it, and there would be no equipment, but that would just make sure those channels are open. It's 5 or 6 branches and 2-foot pieces, 6-foot pieces. And we can stack them in the parking lot and leave them for you guys to look at.
Why don't we just,
What?
let's see if we can have this site meeting on Friday.
Right, but they have filed the notice of intent. Also, that is addressing the removal and stuff. I understand the idea of now trying to get stuff because they're working with the MassDOT. But the thing is, the notice of intent is going to require a public hearing. So I think you really don't want to preempt that hearing, and because some of that work is part of what's in the notice of
Right.
intent. So,
And that should be coming up soon.
right, so you got to wait until you have the whole hearing.
That's one of the questions I had, if you had scheduled it.
I have talked to someone at EA Engineering, I think it was Mr. Bernier, maybe, Chase Bernier,
Okay,
and told him, I gave him a hearing date of November 20th.
okay.
Okay, but I also have informed him that he has to fulfill the submittal requirements, which is getting me the copy of the notice that he's sending to the Gazette, the paid copy and everything that he's going to need that night of the hearing.
And the tear sheet he's
The
going
tear
to
sheet.
have.
Green card.
Green cards, all of that is in the instructions that I gave him. But all this has to take place, the notice has to be in the paper 5 days before, business days before the hearing.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten any response back since I did that one day last week. It was
If I
last
could ask
Wednesday.
you, copy me on any of that stuff, but I'll follow up with them tomorrow morning.
Just send me an email requesting it.
Sure.
And then I can just forward it out to you.
So, again, I don't want to keep you guys, ladies and gentlemen, but I think if you read through this timeline, I tried to, I was actually surprised when I put it all together about how many times we've reached out to Mass Highway, and I've even had to involve a second attorney who knew somebody to get a final response from Mass Highway, just giving us a little bit of direction of where they wanted us to go, and we immediately did that. So I'm hoping, based on everybody I copied on that email, that if George is free on Friday, he'll put it together, but we'll dog him and stay on it. But it always started that here's a draft planting plan. They asked for something to react to. We provided something. It was based on their initial comments. We've already made one revision. I don't want to just keep revising it in a vacuum. I'd like to have everybody's input, revise it once. My plan of attack is to get an approved plan and schedule it for, the proper planting season, to mobilize to the paved area of the parking lot, to use a crane to swing all the planting materials over the fence and just have hand digging and staking and mulching of the plantings, or whatever those are, agreed plantings. Unfortunately, it's too late probably this year to do that with any chance of success, and I've got a very fat file that I wish we could have easily accomplished the work if we had an agreed plan. So I understand we screwed up. I'm trying to make amends and do it right, and I will be personally responsible to see this through, and to the point where I'm back here seeking an order of compliance and certificate of completion. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming in.
One other quick question. I saw on the agenda in the hallway, there's 2 enforcement orders listed. Is there really just one?
Well, it's the enforcement for RK and for Mass Highway, because it's both 2 pieces of property.
Okay.
It has to be joint.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
All right, well, good night.
Okay. Anyone have anything else to add?
Mr. Chairman, do we have to make a formal, anything formal about those fence posts?
No, that's all part of the work that you do, that they're doing in the notice of intent.
Or even fixing the fence that got knocked down?
Because that's a separate incident.
That just happened.
That just happened?
Yeah, you
that's
just
not-
found it
Oh, yeah, that
today.
just,
Yeah, that's why I want to know if
Yeah.
that's something that's separate from the piles of brush in the drainage easements. That's part of the notice of intent, but
but
this,
not the fence.
the fence just happened these last couple of
He
days.
just sent
Over the
pictures
weekend.
tonight. You didn't get a
Gail,
chance to see
Gail
it.
couldn't print them.
Yeah.
So I didn't know,
Fast enough.
I didn't know if we had to make a vote at the board level to allow them to do that since there's something pending, or that's something they can just do as property owners, or?
It's a maintenance issue, isn't it?
Yeah, but if they're gonna start doing this excavation work to ready the post,
It should just be a post hole digger.
well.
It's
so-
only a chain link
yeah,
fence, and
right,
they're gonna
so-
try to stand
But
it
they're
up.
cemented in. he said.
Right, so you need a motion to allow them to do the work as an emergency repair work, and that the fence posts only need be reinstalled with fence, any excavation work or for the support of the fence post. Must be done with a handheld tools and equipment, no motorized equipment, no excavation. This is just for the fence repair.
I'll make that motion, but
Well,
Well, just don't send them an email.
in the morning.
whatever Azu said, I'll repair the fence with minimum,
By hand.
Well,
By
right,
hand,
yeah.
by hand.
No motorized or mechanized equipment. yeah.
motorized or mechanized
Equipment,
equipment to be used.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I mean, that was low.
Just one question
No fault
on
of
his
his.
timeline here. Do we have some type of similar time frame with anything, Gil?
I don't have anything written down, no.
No, I mean, but we have a way of retrieving
Our stuff.
our stuff?
Well, yeah, you're not gonna have all his
I don't-
calls.
I don't quite buy all those dates, but
Well, because a lot of them, they contacted Mass Highway. I mean.
Right, and we would have, we're not in that
any
loop. No, we
of that.
wouldn't.
And if they had contacted me, I save all my emails and everything.
Right.
Everything's on my
Gail would
computer.
have any contact with the office, and other than that, unless you were, CC'd something, but,
Yeah. And anything
His
that's been
point
sent
for-
to me has been, I've got on my computer.
and we could if we had to build a,
Yeah.
based on minutes and
Yeah.
other stuff, yeah,
I
sure.
mean, like,
Finally, a week ago, he talked to Randy, they talked to Randy again, and I said, okay, I'll talk to him. Just at the hope of moving things forward.
Sure.
And said, I'm one member, I'm not a majority vote. And he was saying, I'm trying, and I'm up against it with Mass Highway, and I can't get through to anybody. And they're not returning my calls, and so I'm trying to get things moved forward, but they won't even tell me that the planting plan is no good, and what I need, what they want. He said, I don't know what to put in it to make them happy. He said, so the planting plan I've sent out, I expect will be changed. Okay. And I said, at every meeting, this enforcement order is open. So you have the right to come into our meeting and just tell us what you're doing, so that at least
We get an idea.
we know something's
Right,
going on
right.
and we're not being blown off.
Well, isn't that the intent of his coming up with this timeline?
That's what
to us
today-
and
tonight
show
was.
us
It was
that,
just to go
hey,
through this.
Guys, I have been trying,
Yeah, and that's what he's trying to show.
Yep, all right.
Jeez, we already closed that hearing and denied it.
You missed it, you weren't here.
That was you must be the other hearing. So that's what,
Yep.
I wanted him to come in front of us
Yep.
to discuss it. I was hoping he'd bring in a check, but we don't have a check for the fines yet, so.
Well, that would be nice when you open the hearing for the, that's when
It-
you recount.
It continues. The fine
Yeah, at
continues.
this point,
Yeah.
yep.
The, when are we gonna know about?
If they're truly interested in Mass Highway, they'd be not making phone calls and emails, they'd be sitting at the doorstep. So, I don't quite buy the song and dance.
I mean, I've seen Tom McGuire just the other night, and he told me that they finally agree, they are going through the channels so that they want to meet with them, so that everybody can get on the same page, because if you're not on the same page, especially with the way they started this off,
Right,
That's what, you know, they keep themselves.
Yep.
You know, where.
So we don't know about the 8th, Friday being a good date to meet yet. And when are we gonna know that?
we'll just send them an email, and they'll send us back an email saying that.
Hopefully he sent me
You
an
and I
email
can-
tonight, he will confirm if the meeting is on. And when
Yeah.
he sends me an email tomorrow, I'll ask him to do that.
Okay.
What he said was, he can't get anyone to reply to him about having a meeting.
Right.
No, but what?
So he sent out with a date on it, requesting a meeting for this time, date and time.
But if MassDOT doesn't,
Reply, there's no sense in us going
then there's no
there.
sense for us going.
Because it's been sent back to the landscape super in Boston now, it's been assigned to him by somebody at MassDOT. They pushed it back that way, so that they could get the proper planting.
Yeah, but, yeah, you shouldn't even be at the meeting on Friday. You shouldn't be going there.
No?
No. Because you asked them, you gave them a directive. They need to file a notice of intent, okay? So you don't wanna become part of the.
Put the horse before the.
Yeah, you don't wanna be part of your negotiation with the Mass Highway. That's not your problem. Your problem is that they need to.
We argue that part during the hearing. on
That's
the other
right,
line.
at the hearing. Come up, you know, so this is, going out there as a sort of preempting the hearing.
Yeah.
When you're not supposed to notify the public about the notice of intent hearing. So.
Right,
Yeah,
it's a good
That's why
point.
you're kind of
That's a good point.
getting yourself to be.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
If we went out, it would be just for cursory, we would
Yeah.
not be able to render
Yeah.
any
No, no, for saying
information.
your
Right.
discussion, well, you should do this, you should do that.
We can't
You
give
know,
them
you
that
can do
information,
that.
Right.
so it's no sense going.
Let them fight it out, and then we'll decide who's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds like a plan.
That makes sense.
never mind.
Okay. So we're all set. You want to go into formal?
Mhm.
We have to read this?
Yep.
The IDA?
Yep. That's gonna be what Paul's gonna read, and
Because it's got the right date on it?
Yes.
Don't borrow my
No need
magnifying
for
glass.
your glasses.
All set?
Yep.
Notice of public hearing, Conservation Commission, Raynham, Massachusetts. In accordance with Massachusetts General Bylaws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Raynham Local Bylaw, the Raynham Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, November 6, 2003, at 5:30 PM in the Donald L. McKinnon Meeting Room in the Raynham Veterans Memorial Town Hall at 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Mass., on a request for determination of applicability filed by Ed Donnelly, 1051 Pleasant Street, Raynham, Mass. 02767. The applicant requests a determination for the addition of sitting 60 feet from wetland and whether it is a subject to a jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act and Town of Raynham Wetland Bylaw. The property is owned by Ed Donnelly and located at 1051 Pleasant Street, Raynham, Mass., map 9, parcel 197.
solid. This is for a request.
Make a difference.
Has reviewed this?
Yeah, remember,
That was-
last time,
We
it
reviewed
just
it.
happened to be that they didn't have the proper notice. That's why we was continued to today.
Do we have any issues with it?
No.
So, does anyone have any questions on it? They're gonna put a 26-foot, 7-inch addition by 24-foot addition. It's gonna have a 4-foot foundation. with a new kitchen addition. There was an existing 24 by 24 deck in that location that will be the new kitchen. It's going to be cold if they don't put a roof on it. There will be no wetland issues.
Yeah, because that's an area that's already.
Pool
previously
separates the-
disturbed.
Okay.
So the addition is taking up the place of the deck that's there now?
Right, and between the addition and the wetlands, there's already a pre-approved patio for the pool. You know, so it goes wetland, pool patio, and then addition.
Yeah. So.
All right. How's everyone feel?
It's a pre-existing location, it's not like they're clearing the forest to put in a deck, a detached kitchen.
No, I don't have any.
I don't have any issues.
Do we have a motion?
How do you want
Now,
to?
under the local bylaw, they're supposed to notify about us, right?
Yeah, but we didn't do it this one. We're going to discuss that tonight.
Okay.
I'll make the motion, I just don't need to know how exactly it needs to be worded.
It's a negative determination?
Yeah, just so, yeah, the work is in the, the proposed work, it's in the jurisdiction, but will not have any,
Okay,
so
so
it'd be, let me see the native.
It's all existing grass.
it's all existing, it's an existing area. Well, it's a deck, it used to be there.
Yeah, the deck used to be there, so.
Towards the wetland,
Is it already
So-
grassed there?
that's already grassed all there. That area. There's your corner of your house.
Okay, yep, there's all grass here, and then this is patio right here.
Okay.
Okay, so it's already
So we won't even
established.
need hay.
Right,
Yeah, it's already
no.
established.
So you wanna issue, negative determination number 3, which basically says that the work described in the request is within the buffer zone as defined in the regulations, but will not alter an area subject to protection under the Act. Therefore, said work does not require the following information.
So I'll
So
make,
negative condition number, negative number 3.
so I'll make a motion that we issue a negative determination on the RDA based on number 3.
Second.
Now, can
All-
I sign it?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
I'll have you sign it now, and then I can finish up the work.
Put the little negative on.
Yeah.
Subsection A.
Subsection A, paragraph 2.
Well, you see, that one you can hang on your wall.
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah,
call
right.
it 3.
Right in the kitchen.
What time's supper?
Yeah, right. They sent me 2 this time. I guess they wanted me to get my $200. So I'm all set, folks?
Yeah.
You're all set.
We're all set.
I'll take care of the copies and everything and let you know when it's done.
Hopefully you're done
Okay.
by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right, huh? No way. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Nice
Good luck.
meeting you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll go back to informal discussion. Consulting,
Progress to maps, please.
consulting review. Fees, IDA fees, advertising, and notifying abutters. We'll start with, for an RDA, according to our local bylaw, something like this should have notification of abutters.
Now, the Wetlands Protection Act, under the Wetlands Protection Act, notification of abutters is not required for RDA filing.
Excuse me.
So, I would entertain a motion to remove filing notice of abutters on an RDA for a residential property.
You can't do that.
That's a
It's on the
bylaw change.
bylaw requirement.
So we can't stop,
No, unless you amend the bylaw through the town meeting.
So do we need a motion to the board in Springtown meeting to amend the bylaw? to
If you
read-
want to get rid of that aspect, yeah.
So should we make a motion as a board to adjust?
why don't we put it on a list?
But there are other things that we want to change. There are a couple
Right.
of things that we need to correct, so we might as well put that all together.
But Azul, didn't you say it was, under the Wetlands Protection Act, it was optional?
No, not required at all.
It's not required at all.
Right,
But the way our bylaw was written
yeah.
at the town level,
we required it.
We put it in there for everybody, which in this case, it should just be for commercial, industrial, for all the different categories, not as a regular homeowner.
No, the idea of that though was, as far as fees goes, that you're not gonna be requiring fees for individual homeowners
Right,
and stuff.
right.
But I think we should have the requirement for notification of abutters.
For the RDA?
Yeah, yeah, because you wanna have, unless you advise somebody, okay, matter of fact, what they should be doing from now on, when we get an application, because we don't have a separate application form, so they should be putting on top of here, right in here, and the town of Raynham, wetlands protection bylaw.
Bylaws, right.
Because that application, in other words, we're allowing them to use the state forms to,
File,
meet our
to
file
file.
requirement, right. But like, for example, in Easton, they actually have a town form.
town form.
Right. But in Bridgewater, what we always do is we have them just put in here, in the town of Bridgewater Wetlands Protection
What-
Bylaw.
What would be the average cost for this last project to
$100.
have notice,
Well, no.
abutters
It all depends how
notices?
many butters.
Well, it depends on how many abutters you have,
And how far do you have, I mean,
100 feet.
100 feet?
Yeah.
She had
Average.
12,
She had 12?
And it's, how much is
at least $6.
No, $96.11 for certified mail. Or hand delivery. You can
I think it should
hand deliver
stay the way it is. I think butters should be notified if
Well, I
somebody
do
wants to
too,
do.
in a little bit, and one of the reasons is, let's say somebody's doing something controversial in their property, but it's a tiny corner that's gonna be near the wetlands. It gives the property abutters an opportunity to voice their favor or objection.
So for example.
So I don't think there's an issue.
$72 roughly. So that's not like
We're not talking huge money.
$1,000.
No, but if you look at, for example, why it's necessary. If you ever had a situation like with George Bermilla there, right, where the neighbors called and say, hey, he's doing stuff on the pond. Now, if he had filed a request for determination, didn't notify abutters and doing the work, and you get a call that there's a work being done, does the conservation know of it? Because with the request for determination, there is no issuance of a file number.
Right.
So they're not gonna hang a file number and say, hey, we do have a permit. So at least this way here, the neighborhood knows what's going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Something
I
could be
agree with
going
that.
I
on.
think it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea,
I
too.
do.
Yeah, I don't think it's that expensive. I will.
It's not huge
That
money.
was my own.
They keep everybody in the,
You just didn't.
Now, are they able to
Didn't realize.
let them know
I looked at the
Via
list, and not the new
face-to-face, or does it have to
I
be
have to
via
have-
registered mail?
No, the form of notification is either certified mail or hand delivery, receipt requested. Hey, I'm doing this, yeah, can you tell me, I just want you to initial, sign here that you received it so I can prove that you received it.
told.
Yeah, so you can do that, go to your neighbor and have him sign it.
no,
So
No,
you could actually use the tear sheet, the green card, but just not go through the mail.
Oh, you gotta get.
No, you can't use the green card.
But
If you use
something
the
like
green
that.
card, no, just a piece of paper, right here. I have filed a request for determination on notice of intent with the town of Raynham Conservation Commission. Notice is hereby given to my abutters. Make a copy of that. Each abutter signs that they received it. Receive it and date it, that's it.
I don't see any reason, it keeps everybody honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. You can't just say, oh, I told them. Then they can come here and say, no, you never told me.
so leave it
So
alone.
you gotta have,
Some type of
Is
formal,
there a
yeah.
formal letter that that can be printed out? When someone comes in, say like this person says, I need a letter to send to my abutters, is there anything formal, a formal letter?
yeah, just like, that's some type of,
Is it the,
you see that, like the legal notice they put in the newspaper?
just
Like
like
for,
that?
yeah, just take that and then they received it.
I didn't know if there was
That's it.
anything
No,
different
no,
that they should
no,
do than
no,
something like that.
No, just evidence of that they know that somebody filed. Yeah,
So if they want to save the money, they can go door to door.
yeah,
Or they can send out the green cards.
yeah.
And if the door gets slammed in the face, then
They'll send out a green card.
card.
Send out a green card if they don't want to open the door, that's all.
no, I don't see any problem
So
with
that
that.
gives them an option, at least save a little bit of money in their pocket.
That's just discussion.
We'll leave that.
We don't need any-
I'm sure there won't be any clerical errors. from this point forward.
It's all new, everybody's learning.
There's a lot to learn in that, but, you know, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot to bylaw, and
We
there's a lot
finally
of-
caught Gail on something.
Yeah, well, the main thing that we wanted to change right away is the stuff about the filing fee.
The fees,
About,
right.
you know, it's almost like giving them an option.
Yeah, that has to be fixed.
And/or,
Yeah, no,
and/or.
they can, no, in addition to.
And
Right.
consulting fees.
Yes.
Okay. Consulting fees, where are we at on consulting fees?
So it's all cleaned up.
I had a quick question. I know last meeting we talked about a category 5. Are we still using the category 5?
ANRAD. Go further down, where it says ANRAD,
Mm-hmm.
category 5.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was category 6 then. What was the one about the
Right below
dock?
it.
The dock.
There is a category six.
That's there too, guy.
Is it, am I not seeing it about the dock?
Right here.
It's right below category 5. 1,
Oh, I know, yeah, but I don't see anything.
3.
It just says category 6.
Okay.
And you have to contact Gail to find out what the category is.
Okay.
It's just too much to put on the sheet.
Category 5 would have been the docks.
Okay.
Okay.
And you do have a dock, because the NIP is a great pond.
Yes.
Therefore, you do need a waterways
Lousy
license.
pond.
Yeah.
It's a lousy pond, if you
Yeah.
don't read it over. and-
It won't be applicable to too many people. Maybe like a half a dozen.
And there's ghosts up here.
I have a question, though. We have category 5, $4 per lineal foot. Total fee is not less than 100 or more than 2,000. Well, if they have 1,000 feet of resource that has to be looked at, we're never gonna get somebody to review it.
No, because
For
if you're doing,
$2,000 bucks.
because if you're doing a resource right there, actual resource,
That's below it?
right, and category 6.
Okay.
It says there were $1,000 for delineations less than 100 flags, $1,500 for delineation from 101 flags to 150 flags. Then if there's any more than 150, then you gotta say, hey, you need additional fees. So they add or something, you know, and if it's not used up,
But once you got over that distance, wouldn't you be asking the applicant to have a consultant review, like Niche or one of them?
yeah,
So it would kind of,
Well, that's
it would be subject to their cost?
estimate, yeah.
Yeah.
And what we can do to clarify that, because to your point, that's good. Okay, these are initial, so we should have a clarification that these are minimum initial deposits required at the time an application is made. Okay, depending on, and then somewhere in footnote it said that additional review fees may be required depending on the scope of project. And that allows, that what covers that.
Where do we want to put that in?
I think you just add it below category 6 as
Right.
as an asterisk and a
It's a
note.
footnote.
Yeah.
Anything larger,
No, it just says that these fees are minimum consultant review fee required at the time an application is made. However, depending on the scope of the project, additional review fees may be required.
necessary.
Yeah.
Got that done?
Did you get that? All right. You get those minutes back to her tomorrow, so we can...
She does.
I know.
That's good.
So everybody's happy with these fees at this point?
I'm just happy to see some fees, a fee structure.
All right, can we have a motion
To accept the current fee structure
to,
As
well,
amended.
as amended?
and send it on to the selectmen for review?
I'll make a motion that we accept the current fee schedule and consultant fee review costs as amended, and send them forth to the selectmen for review.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, does anyone else have anything else?
But the selectmen have seen our fee schedule. They haven't seen the consultant review schedule.
Right. The fee schedule for filing, it's already been approved.
Right, so we don't need to send both. We just need to send the consultant review.
Can I help you?
Hi, I'm coming for the meeting for Raynham Cultural.
It's on the other little office.
Little office, across the hall.
Right across the
Right
hall.
across the hall. Yep.
So we want to, before we send it, just make sure we put that notation.
As soon as I get the minutes, I'll put it.
Great.
Okay, anything further?
Recommend that you adjourn.
Are you looking for a motion, Mr. Chairman?
I'm looking for a motion. One last
I
one.
make a motion that we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.